everybody, what's going on? It's your girl j.renae. You know, I always have something to say, aka Miss Make It Happen. I'm joined by co-host and CEO of Houston Trend, Elliot Guidry. And today our special guest is the one and only. We had him on the show previously, but it was for his festival. Now he's doing bigger and better things. He's signing everybody under the sun who has even touched the mic. Give it up for the one and only. I can't do it that hard. But Derrick McKinney.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, brother, for coming in,
no
man.
problem at all, man.
You know what
Call,
I'm
I
saying?
answer.
I know you had a video shoot today, and you're running around the city like a madman, brother.
Yeah, man. We shooting Cody Blake's video, Let Me Know.
Already.
Produced by Tim Ned, choreographed by John Glenn of New Vibe Dance Studio, styled by Miyoshi, the stylist. So we had a lot of hands on deck. You know, it's really cool. It's cool videos coming together well, man. We'll be shooting the rest of the day, but so far so good.
So is it hard or is it easier having to do your video production now during the pandemic? Because you don't have a lot of people booking that same particular space.
So the hard part for this video has been a lot of the space we wanted weren't available. So it wasn't in the spaces that we used. They were, we were able to get them with no problems. But some of the spaces that we wanted were closed down, temporary closed, or that COVID restrictions didn't allow us to be in close proximity for a video. So we was like, okay, let's figure out new ways. But we got a really dope director, man. My guy Xavier he's out of San Antonio, and he came down to shoot the video. So it's pretty cool, man. Different look, totally different director, different eye, different person. He's never shot any Houston artist video before, and so that's one of the things I was looking for.
Man, one of the things I appreciate about what Loud Music is able to do, especially with you guys' social media, because you're documenting the entire process of this shoot. Like, we got something coming. It's a little sneak peek.
Yeah.
The final product is not going to touch this, but you're able to see what all we're doing and what all we're putting in it, into it. That's one thing about you is, I mean, when I first met you, were always big on how things are presented on social media because of being a tool.
Of course, yeah.
You know, you've never been asleep on utilizing that. Explain the importance to those that don't know on how to understand how social media works.
Well, I think social media now has become a gift and a curse. Sometimes fans, they demand and want so much from you that, it's one of the things where you can give somebody everything that they want, they're going to still find something to complain about.
Yeah.
That is social media. Without a shadow of a doubt, that's social media. But one of the things that I always do is, and you said it 100% correct, I document the process. Because I feel as though the behind the scenes is more important than the final product to me. If I didn't have to deliver a finished music video, I would just do the behind the scenes of everything and let that be what it is. But it's our way of making people believe what we're doing. It's like you don't have to question, okay, when you watch the final video, did y'all really do this? Did y'all really go here? Is that really what y'all doing? Like, you don't have to question the authenticity of any move we make. And I think that's one of our strong points. Because everybody does music in some capacity. Everybody's a blogger. Everybody does something now. But you don't know, like, how. What's your resume? What's your credentials? What type of effort are you putting in? What type of work are you putting in? And I think us showing the behind the scenes of what we're doing and how we're moving and everything we're trying to work towards, when we do give somebody the final product, they know, okay, yeah, we know they worked for this. We know they earned this shit. We know that this ain't no woke up one day and just decided to do something and put a bunch of filters and covers and artwork on apps on phones, and all of a sudden, hey, I'm this person.
That's something that, because you can get so caught up behind just the creating process and then putting it out there and then being no follow-up. I'm even speaking to myself on that sense, because I fall in prey to sometimes just, this is a dope idea, let me create something and see how it's received, and if it's not touched the way I feel like it, and then it kind of falls by the wayside. But because there's no finished product with it, it's just like, oh, okay, well, you're starting something, but where is it at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Social media is a world where people keep you stagnant with compliments. Like some people would do some shit and they get likes and comments, and then all of a sudden, you never see nothing. Like they give you this big build up, my new video, my new album, and then like 3-4 days later, they're back to the regular selfies, doing everybody else's challenge, doing everything else to try to catch that spark again, as opposed to like, nah, I'm committing to me. If my album drops today, I have a plan for the next 30 days. Then I have phase 2 the next 30 days after that. We got at least 5 phases in our game plan, and we're not wavering from it.
You have a lot of phases because you're working with a lot of different people right now. Since the Loud Fest, it seems like your roster obviously has grown because it has. It's not just seems like it has. It has. What is like? How is this working with you? Like, is it like with guys like DejaVu, Zero, Lil Flip? I mean, these guys are not small names by a long shot.
Right.
Like, what is it? Are you approaching them? They gravitating to you? How is this working?
So, and by no means is this a arrogant or anything like that. They all approached me. But I'm a firm believer in it, man. As cliche as it is, if I just focus on doing my job, anything that's supposed to come my way will. Like I'm not pulling up at somebody else's video shoot trying to be on. Right. I'm not going to somebody else's listening party calling it networking, but you're really in there trying to hustle and get in. Right. Like, no, I'm just going to do my job and focus on what I'm doing. And I don't look left, I don't look right. I just focus on what I have to do at a high level. And we have a really dope team. Like, again, I've been screaming it from day one. It's because we have a team. It's 8 or 9 of us, and our team has grown more than our artist roster has grown. To where now we have stylist and creative director Miyoshi on board. We have our production and stage manager Walt, DJ Solo 713 on board. DJ Hillo is on board. There's Cody Blake's tour DJ. We have my guy Chris Vega on board, who's our in-house photographer. Darren Clifton, H-Town's finest. He's part of the team and handling in-house photography for us. So we've added some very great pieces that allow the artist to just be the artist. You don't. Dope Beezy is going to go from wearing 10 hats to just one. We're going to pass those 9 hats around the table, and everybody else going to put one on and not just focus on being the greatest Dope Beezy you can be.
That's amazing. I love your managerial style because that's something that you made your own. Like, you can create a festival not strictly for your artists, but for everyone, including your artists, and then you switch the hats the next day to okay, we have a video shoot, but before this, I'm going to prepare you for it, not throw you into the fire.
Exactly.
So, how did you learn that type of technique? Did you learn from watching other managers, doing their style? You're like, I'm gonna do mine.
Man, I read a lot, and I credit my wife to influencing my reading habits because she's a reader, but. I studied the greats. See, I think a lot of things that I do is based on where I want to be. When I meet an artist or I'm talking to an artist for the first time, I ask them, what is your dream show? If you could perform anywhere in the world, where would it be? And they're like, Coachella. Who's your opening act? Beyonce. Okay, so if you're going to headline Coachella and Beyonce is your opening act, your process has to lead you that way. So you can't do bullshit records and not rehearsing, expecting B to be your opening act at Coachella.
Because you're going to get shown, everybody's going to leave afterwards.
You have to be
I studied Clive Davis, Berry Gordy, Jimmy Iovine, David Geffen, Russell Simmons. I study all of these guys, and I've read all of their books, Richard Branson, and I look at everything that they've done from how they created, especially like Berry Gordy, how he was able to build what he built during that civil rights Jim Crow era. And what a lot of people don't understand is, or fail to realize, black people weren't buying records then. Black people were not the ones buying millions and millions of Motown records. It was always white. If we couldn't afford restaurants, we definitely couldn't afford record players. If we couldn't afford to go, so we didn't own the record players. So how are all these records selling and who was buying them? So if he was able to do that then there's no way a pandemic can slow us down.
Facts.
Like it's so I look at things from their perspective as much as possible, and that's how I build myself. I look at Clive Davis had a really great team. His lawyer was super strong. Clive Davis was a lawyer himself.
That's key.
Yeah, it's so
having
key.
Your team, having your law.
The songwriters he could go to, the producers he knew. Like, okay, when I find this artist, when I sign Whitney, I understand Whitney, you're dope, and your mom is dope, and your aunt is dope, but I need you to go over here in this studio and write with these people. Mm-hmm. Those things are things that I study and I try to take on, and I try to embody from an executive perspective, because I can't chase Joe Blow hip hop label down the street if I'm trying to be the next Berry Gordy, because he wasn't chasing them. So it's my style of management or record company CEO. It comes from me. I'm gonna pull this from Clive Davis. I'm gonna pull this from Berry Gordy. I'm gonna pull this from Russell Simmons. Mm-hmm. Then I'm gonna grab this from Richard Branson, and I'm gonna figure out ways like, okay, so he discovered Fleetwood Mac and saw Stevie Nicks as the lead singer, so he pulled Stevie Nicks out. Like, what made him do that? What did he see? So I try to mimic a lot of those things. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a songwriter, but I study songwriters. Mm-hmm. I feel like now I have a really good grasp on what makes a great song, and that's what we're working on. Like, I want everybody to have great records, and I believe every artist has great records on our team. It's just now it's our job to influence the world to know that they're great records.
That's with the artist roster that you have, my man. It's easy. Yeah. Tim has obviously put out records like Cool, Casual, Sexy. That's massive, appealing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even records he had before, Dope Easy has a list of them. Zero, Easy. You know, Flip, Easy. I mean, then his business acumen and all the things that he's involving himself in. That was a really interesting move with Flip, because where he's kind of like stepping back a little bit from the music, mm-hmm. not too much, but he's positioning himself into different businesses, which in this point in time, like, you can't help but to salute.
Yeah, and I think also with Flip, I think, and to my credit, I think I'm somebody that can make him comfortable enough to get back into the music the way he was. Mm-hmm. Because now you don't have to worry about a lot of the headache and bullshit that the artist would have to worry about before. We take that off their plate. Mm-hmm. So now if Flip says, you know what, I think I'm in record mode, cool. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, and I can tell he's getting a little bit more comfortable. Like he's getting comfortable with the music again. Yeah. He did this photo shoot with his Rolls Royce in like this greenish background. Like, you look like you're in album mode, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I think Flip, I talked to him the other day. He was like, I called him, like, what's up, man? I'm in the studio just creating, working. Okay, I'll call you back.
Like, you know, that's it. Don't want to mess up that process.
Yeah, stay doing what you're doing, man. So, Flip.
So with guys like Flip and Zero, what is it that you're able to provide in their life at this moment in time that they haven't been able to get previously?
So I think with Ro can trust that, and I'm not saying this is something he didn't have previously, mm-hmm. but he knows that I'm always going to do two things. I'm going to be professional with whatever, no matter how bad the situation is, I'm looking for the solution. With Zero being the personality that he is and having the celebrity that he is, a lot of people love to see zero. They want to be cussed out. They want the slick talk. Like so when there's some bullshit or negativity that actually affects Joseph McVeigh, they're too busy trying to get zero. To where my concern day in and day out, let me make sure Joseph McVeigh is fine. Because zero is phenomenal at being zero. So let me make sure Joseph McVeigh is right, so then he can be the best zero he is. So that's how I approach it with him. Whether if it's from booking the right shows, handling the right meeting, putting out the fires that may need to be put out, working on new business ventures, or just chopping it up with him just on some non-music shit. I let him be Joseph McVeigh.
That alone, I think it's and not just with him, but with artists, period. Because a lot of the times, folks are coming to them because of their celebrity or because of who it is and what they are, as opposed to how you doing today. Really, what's happening? You know what I mean? Yeah, I was just getting some. You need anything? You good? You know, whatever the conversation may be.
It's because you got so many people pulling at him and always want something from him. To where it's like, nah, man, I wanna give to you. Zero was beyond a legend before I even met him.
So when I saw that deal was inked, obviously on social media, I was like, wait a minute, wait, what is going on over here? And then everything else started popping up, like immediately after you signed Zero. It was flipped and dough. You got some other folks that, but it's as a spectator, I'm super excited for all the things that Loud Music has going on. You know what I mean? The team that you have been building over these years, strong. You know what I mean? I know Tim obviously has full faith in everything that's going on because he's been a Loud soldier for a minute.
He's the flagship from day one. Me and Tim started this whole situation in the room together. So he was there from day one.
I remember that when we actually interviewed Tim, and I think you all just came back from Japan, okay, from Japan. I was like, wait. He was like, yeah, I already have my single already out. Look for the album. I was like, you already going on tour and stuff like that? And he's like, yeah.
We toured Japan, England, the Netherlands. We did a 19-city tour with Ja Rule. And it was one of them situations where it was just Ja Rule and Tim. It wasn't Tim, then 5 other acts, and then it was Tim, Ned, and Ja Rule. And that's a big shout out to Rock, Ja's road manager and business manager, and Ja Rule.
How was that relationship brought about? Because now, I mean, you and Ja Rule, y'all cool. That's like your brother.
Man, we were working with a tour agent, a guy named Rich, with OTM Touring out of New York. They're based in New York and England, and they was doing a lot of touring for Ja. And they had a show in New York at Sony Hall. Got Tim to be the opening act, and from there we linked up with Rock. Tim connected with Ja, and we just built a relationship, a natural, organic, solid relationship from day one. Rock, man, for the power and control that he has and the way he handles the business, he could have easily blew us off like, yeah, whatever. But he's just so cool and such a down-to-earth brother to where he was like, okay, bet. I see y'all handling y'all business. I see what y'all doing. Here's another opportunity. Hey, I'm coming to Texas. Ja's like, you and Tim, bet. Let's go. To where now it's like, yeah, it's crazy. We was in Dallas at Texas Live at the venue, amazing venue, and we had a show, and they only had one dressing room, and it was Ja's dressing room and stuff. And this was very early in our relationship, and they were just like, for them to be like, what? Nah, man, y'all come on in, and like at that moment it was like, so it's me, Tim, DJ Staso, Ja Rule, DJ Darn DeMarco, Ja Rule's manager, Rock, and his security. And for like 4 hours, we talking basketball, football, Ja's trip to Egypt, We ordering food, we ordering drinks, like all before the show. Like we just, and he was like, man, when he was knocking on the door of the game and really starting to bubble, Jay-Z took him on tour. People gave him a shot. So he was like, man, shit, we kicked it in New York. I'm in your state, so like one of the it's not very many people in this industry that I've come across. Big Tigger is one. Ja Rule is one that actually embrace people and show nothing but genuine. It wasn't no corny. It wasn't no cornball music business shit.
It was just.
It was just natural. Like you'd have thought we'd sit down playing dominoes for years. He's just a great dude. So for Loudfest, Ja Rule got an app called Icon. Icon is an app that's allowing artists, influencers, entertainers to monetize themselves and their platforms directly. You can live stream it and people can tip you right there. Somebody can like your music and book you for a feature in the app. They can book you for an appearance. They can, somebody can book you for a concert or a tour. Everything right there that the artist controls.
Say that one time in this camera. What app?
It's called Icon, the Icon app.
Okay.
And so what Ja was like, hey, for your festival, every indie artist that signs up for the festival, we're gonna give them a verified artist page in the Icon app. Then he posted it on his page. Then he did a video and posted the video. And I was like, man, I wasn't expecting him to throw his influence behind it. So you know how that opened us up to the world?
Quickly.
Like, just off the strength of like, hey, he's seen what we're doing. He knows what we're doing benefits him. He was, and his exact words, nah, D, we brothers, we locked in. Whatever you need, we good. I'll be there next year. Like, done deal. Let's go.
Beautiful.
So that's he one of them. He's one of those dudes.
That's dope. That's
I mean,
just
come on, man.
Just off of maneuvering in the
like,
business, how you maneuver, making that relationship. That's, I mean, what did you wake up that morning expecting? I might meet Ja Rule today.
Nah, man. It's funny. I'm a history buff. Like I love, and I always say I want to make history. So I document. I remember everything. And Tim hit me like February 2019, and he was like, "Man, I ain't did no shows in a while. Where's my next show? What's going on? What we doing?" I said, "Man, we ain't doing no more clubs. We're doing venues, arenas, and festivals, and we're probably gonna tour the country." Bet, what you got lined up? Like nothing. Like I said, I'm working on it. I'll figure it out. Shit, by May, we were getting ready to go on tour with Ja. We was doing festivals. That early August, we were going to England. End of September, we were going to Japan.
This is 2019.
Okay. We started doing.
So I think that's when y'all had a. I think he did a club out here not before then. I want to say it was in 2019.
Was it the Late Nights in London release party where we had the free fish and chips?
Yeah.
That was when we got back from England, so that was early October 2019.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a club. We rented out Heights Vinyl, the vintage record store. And free to get in, free parking, free food, open bar.
Was it a club? No, it was a club because, well, not a club, like not one that I've been to, but it was an open space venue. Had a little stage in the back. What venue was this? I definitely don't remember dates like you do. It was cold because I had on a hoodie.
It was cold.
It was cold. So, so between December,
I met Eden there. Ashton, the singer, was there. I think she performed there as well.
So
I know Tim was there.
Yeah, so that was probably one of our shows called The Playlist.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
So that was Warehouse Live.
Okay.
So if it was a playlist show, it was Warehouse Live. The center stage was done at Heights Vinyl.
Okay.
So we did a concert series, a concert every month with 4 to 5 Houston artists on there. Free to get in, open bar, free food. We did season 1 at Warehouse Live. Season 2 was at Heights Vinyl. Season 3 was supposed to kick off in 2020, but COVID, so we didn't do it. So we're going to bring that back in some capacity this year.
Okay. I mean, hey, online.
I think with a lot of the smaller venues that are 200-300 cap rooms, those are ideal for us.
Right.
Because for indie artists now to be able to put 80 to 100 people in a room, and it's okay that you didn't sell it out, now is the time that you attack that. Right. Now you take full advantage of that. You know, it's not about I gotta perform in front of 1,000 people. You don't want to perform in front of 1,000 people right now. It's too risky.
Very.
But if I can perform in front of 80 to 100 and set up my iPad or whatever to live stream as well.
How you good. Had Loudfest set up, I think, is the ideal way for concerts to, I mean, right now in this arena where we are with COVID and everything, I think it's the ideal way. You know what I mean? I had so much fun there. Folks were wearing their masks and they were being safe. There was enough space where folks wasn't bunched up, but it was still enough folks to enjoy the atmosphere. Yeah. You know what I mean? I literally went to Loudfest as a fan. Just to enjoy the atmosphere. I didn't want to do too much other than just take in what was there. Martez was on stage when I showed up. Fat Pimp showed up. And I just enjoyed it.
It was an amazing event, man. It was... We did... I feel like we did something really, really great for Houston, for Texas, for the South. 97.9 The Beat in Dallas. They just signed on to be our radio partner for 2021.
Nice.
So Dallas is fit to really get behind it, and we're fit to do the same in San Antonio and Austin.
Man.
So we're looking to expand the festival to December 3rd, 4th, and 5th this year, 3 days. We're going to do 5 venues instead of 1. So we'll have live concerts going on at 5 different venues throughout the days.
As an opening artist that wants to get on that, how you think how have you guys set it up yet?
Submissions start February 1st.
Okay.
Loudfest HTX.
Okay, so they go online and they
submit. Okay. It's a $25 submission fee. Once you submit, that doesn't guarantee you're picked, but you get an all access weekend pass. You get added to the Spotify playlist. You get added to the YouTube channel playlist. You get discounts with Vertical DJs, Nerve DJs, Disc Makers, Merchly. You get your musicsupervisor.com account. You get a full media contact list. You get to do a minimum 30 media interviews.
For the $25.
For the $25.
And their music must be original, or can they do
all original?
All original.
You got to have original music. You got to have released something new within the last 12 months. So from December last year to December this year, you got to have
all these details.
So they go there, they give you all the details, and what it does is forces artists to put out new music. It forces them to have original music. They got to have a clean version to their music. They got to have a music video. They got to have a press kit. They got to be registered with BMI or ASCAP. So in essence, every artist that hits the stage is prepared to go to the next level.
Already out the gate for $25. That is a great deal. I want to touch on your strategies. In the beginning, you said you have 5 strategies, right? What are those 5?
So when approaching the management situation with the artist, you know, and I don't want to just say it's 5 strategies, but there's a few things that I like to make sure that we're doing. I like to make sure that we do an artist onboarding sheet where that's how we get to know everything about the artist.
Right.
Who's your main point of contact? Where you from? What school you went to? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Do you have any allergies? What is your wish list? What are your do's? What are your don'ts? What's everything? And that allows us to really understand the artist, because I feel like as a manager, I have to be you when you're not there. I have to be you when you're not around. And when you are around, I have to be able to decipher if I'm listening to the conversation or the interview, I gotta be able to know this don't work for him. I have to know those things immediately. And as CEO of the record company, so a lot of the things are the same. I like to make sure that we are being believable. Believable is so important to me. I don't like how people like when you got to be an artist, you got to be on. Separate your business from your personal. I think that worked 40, 50 years ago. I think today people are able to engage with their favorite artist online and connect with them. So it's best for you to just be you 24/7, 365. I don't need you to flip the switch and go in artist mode, and then when you're not in artist mode, you're somebody else. It's those moments that get you messed up.
Yeah.
So I prefer it like, man, I told Cody today doing his video shoot, man, be the best Cody Blake you could ever be. I'll figure out the rest around you, but just be Cody. I don't want you feeling like you got to be this artist or move like that artist or sound like this guy over here. Like, no, we're going to make what you do cool. I say that's what we got to do, man. Our work ethic, work. I can live with a mistake at 100 miles an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know the effort is there, but when it's not no effort, I think that's where most of the artists today make mistakes. They think they working, they think they grinding, but man, they lazy ass shit.
It's easy to become complacent real quick. Yeah. You know, we were interviewing Hev yesterday. The thing that I think is a reoccurring thing with most artists, especially here in Houston, Houston makes you really comfortable.
Man.
Comfortable. Like inside this 610 loop or this beltway is a massive ass lazy boy couch.
Man, let me tell you something, man. And I try not to beat up on the artists in this city too much.
It's okay. We all do it. Because we expect so much because there's a lot of fucking talent here.
I don't even think it's about expecting so much just because of so much talent. It's like live up to the entitlement you think you deserve.
Exactly.
The sense of entitlement of artists in this city is ridiculous. Like just because there's not enough bandwidth on the internet to really unwrap everything. It's not YouTube don't have enough space to really talk about the different levels of what's wrong with our industry right now.
Yep.
But I think it starts way bigger than the artist. So whoever's the hottest D-boy in the streets buying the most bottles and buying the most sections, that's the person the promoters chase. Mm-hmm. So since that's who the promoters are chasing, that's who the DJs are catering to. Mm-hmm. The DJs are catering to them because they sending the DJs bottles and slipping them $100, $200 in their pocket. So they screaming this person's name, and now all of a sudden people think, oh, this is the next to blow. This is the hottest thing. Mm-hmm. That's just the hottest D-boy in the street right now. That's just the hottest person that got a real estate investor backing them right now. It ain't got shit to do with the music. It don't have nothing to do with the quality of artists. But then when you sit down and have meetings and talk to these people, they want to blow smoke up your ass and tell you like, oh, you got to do this. You got to work your record. You got to go do that. And they not doing it. Right. So I've made it a habit I have a lot of DJs that I'm cool with and I got relationships with, but I don't base what I do around their opinion.
Yeah.
I don't base my strategy around because they're going to waver. Whoever, if I'm not in that club on Saturday night and Joe Blow Records is and they throwing money in the air and popping bottles, that's who they catering to. Rightfully so. That's what they're supposed to do. But I can't build my company around your flakiness.
Touche.
And I think Houston has made it a habit of building artists. Well, artists
it's part of the culture.
To do that.
It's part of the culture because, I mean, like you said, the people that we grow up looking up to is the guy that came down the block in that fancy car that we know we couldn't necessarily get right now because our parents didn't have it.
Right.
That's the same person that's in the club doing X, Y, and Z. So when we see that that's what they're doing, we think, okay, this is what I got to do. Yeah. On the flip side of that, there's somebody like yourself that's already tapped into markets overseas that didn't even have to do none of that because you played it cool hand Luke and
there's not a DJ in this city that helped me get to Japan. There's not a radio station in this country that helped me get on tour with Ja Rule. Not a one. So I don't feel captive to have to follow those rules. Mm-hmm. So if my route takes me a little longer, cool, I'm with that because I know when we get to where we're trying to go and where we are going, I know it's because of our work. I know it's because of our effort. It's our blood, sweat, and tears. I didn't sell my soul to kiss ass to this person or brown nose over here to this company or do all of this. Like, nah, man, I've never wavered on where I stand and what I believe in.
Absolutely.
Man, I want to.
Those that don't know,
Yeah.
this is Houston's own Master P.
I take that.
Ice cream man.
I take that.
What's next? Like, I know that. Okay, I know we can't say
Right.
who
So
is.
I think what's next for us is it will be another level of. I think we're going to show not just the city, but we're going to be able to show the country another level of the independent label. I think that's where we're on pace to do, because we are putting some things in place from a brand perspective, with more products, more cities. We've created this program where we'll have 15 A&R marketing reps around the country. So we have a rep in DC. We actually have 2 reps in DC. We have a rep in Louisville, Kentucky. We have a rep in Denver, Colorado, where they are going to be me in those markets. So now and that's that Def Jam method. Have the Def Jam rep in every market and make that the cool guy in the city. So I have a loud music guy in these markets, and they getting jackets, hats, hoodies. They getting all the cool stuff, and we're gonna make sure they get all the shine in the world. So I'm going to show them like another level of an independent label. That's what's next for us.
Man. How can people get a hold of you? How can they find you? What's the best route?
Man,
for an independent artist?
The best route is just go to our website, loudmuzik.com, loudmuzik.com.
That's if y'all can't see it on his shirt and ball cap.
Right.
Yeah, Loud Music, they're on Instagram, official Loud. Me personally, everything is Derrick, DERRICK MC. I respond. I think I've got. Well, let me say this. I respond 90% of the time. That 10% I don't respond is because the message comes through extremely ignorant.
Touché.
I fuck with that music, bro. You need me, my nigga. I can do this. I can do that.
Oh.
Like I just delete. I don't even open them. I just delete them.
Don't have the time for it, but I wish somebody would start a not necessarily a school, but a camp for people to know how to approach people.
So if you ever get a chance to go back to the Loudfest Instagram page and watch the videos that I would post leading up to the festival, it was all about professionalism. It was all about don't be drunk or high at the festival. Perform, do your interviews, respond to the emails, read the details, watch how you approach people, watch how you send people messages on Instagram, watch how you are in the comments. And it's like you don't have to be super rap guy or super rap girl. And and it's kind of like the female artists or women artists, rappers now, it's more or less, I don't need you to tell me how tough you are. It's that we're in the music, people forget that it's called the music business. The business. So I just stopped responding to things that if the message is one of them,
and that's
man,
respectful.
I got the hottest shit ever,
that's
or fuck with me, bro. You need me, or man, let's work, man. Let's work, OG. I hate the word OG. Do not call me OG. I hate it. Like I watched a video not too long ago where it was a black record executive. So you never hear them call any white executive OG. It's used as a term of endearment, but not realizing that all you're doing is dating that person and making them feel like what they do is irrelevant moving forward, that they're only good for the past. And that's why you never see, how many old black record executives do you ever see on TV? They find ways to push us out. They allow us, hey, it's a new generation of artists, so we need a new generation of executives. So you mean, why they don't do that with any of the white executives, producers, songwriters?
Because their hands are already in that pocket.
They don't. When the Rolling Stones went out, they didn't say, hey, there's a new wave of artists, so we need a new wave of executives. They didn't push them out.
Absolutely.
But when with black artists, they're always finding a revolving door. Hey, push them out, because we're knowing too much. We're learning the system. We're understanding how to work within their realm. So at some point, they got to figure out a way to push you out. So that's why I don't do the word OG. I don't do big bro. I don't do I don't do any of those. I am Derrick McKinney. Derrick, Mr. McKinney, DMC, any of those I'm cool. But all the other stuff, those are ways that we've been conditioned of thinking that terms of endearment. But really, those are the very same things that are being used to push us out.
Indeed. Take that as a lesson. Once you start to pursue your career, you know exactly how to approach professionals in that realm. Brother, it was honor and a pleasure as always to have you.
I appreciate
this is I think my fourth time having you on the show out of my career.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Each and every time is always
I enjoy
love.
it, man. Anytime you call, I'm answer.
Wait, I think it's the same amount.
What?
I got KT issues.
Yeah, when I was with Radio Rick.
I interviewed this man in my living room.
Yep.
Way back. He was working with an artist, Time Peep.
Oh yeah, you got this.
Oh,
yeah,
this is.
You got that.
You know what I'm saying?
He got that. He got that one.
But it's always love. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy as a spectator, as a fan, watching the growth. I want to see more. I want to see more. I want to see more because I know you're fully capable of it.
Hey man, I appreciate that, man. I don't take those words lightly, man.
Don't take it lightly.
I want to do something. I want to do something amazing, man. And I think we are.
You're doing it.
We're on pace.
You're doing it.
I think between the team and the talent, man. You know, as long as I stay in my lane, I won't miss my turn.
Touche.
That's all I got to do.
All right, brother. This has been Trend Talk. Derrick, thank you for coming on, my brother. j.renae, it's your boy Elliot Guidry. Deuces.